Sonic 3 and Knuckles is an overrated game. I'm back reacting to more of your Sonic hot takes. This person says a lot of people think Sonic 3 and Knuckles is like a perfect Sonic game, and they're allowed to think that. However, I have a lot of issues with the game. Some of the levels aren't enjoyable to me. Angel Island and Hydro City are really dope levels, but next you got Marble Garden and Carnival Night Zone, which are huge pace breakers. Marble Garden is generally uninteresting and has a lot of cheap obstacle placement. Carnival Night just drags on for so long. Sandopolis Act 2 also sucks for the same reason Carnival Night does. So a lot of people don't like Sandopolis, and I understand why. I can understand that whole thing that it breaks the pace. It's a Sonic game. It's supposed to go fast, and that is a problem with a lot of Sonic games. So I do get what he's saying right now. See, I don't think 3 Knuckles is a bad game because, as you can see, I like the majority of the levels. However, I cannot see the game as peak Sonic other than for its story. So yeah, I can agree with that. Me personally, Sonic 3 Knuckles is an A to S tier game to me. And he also says, additionally, I find Sonic 2's level design philosophy more fitting than Sonic 3's, but I will admit Sonic 3 has better level ideas. I can agree with that, yeah. As I do agree that some of these levels are pace breakers, I honestly personally have no issues with Sonic 3 Knuckles. I really like the game a lot. I like all the levels a lot. Tell me what y'all think about Sonic 3 Knuckles in the comments. The Werehog was a great addition in Unleashed, just like how Classic Sonic was in Gens. It served as a breather from the daytime stages so they didn't get monotonous. Okay, so a lot of people don't like the Werehog stages. In the last hot takes video, you saw one of the hot takes were dealing with that Werehog and how the Werehog kind of ruined Sonic Unleashed. The Werehog gameplay itself was different, but it was fun in its own way. Obviously, some of the stages had a lot of flaws, but the stages themselves don't make up the mechanics. If you know me, you know I don't really have an issue with the Werehog, so I don't really have much of an issue with Sonic Unleashed in general. I think both gameplay styles are equally fun, but I do understand people's issues with the Werehog. People don't like how slow it is. It's a huge pace breaker. You go from speeding through a boost stage, but then you go to a slower pace night stage where you have to fight every 2 seconds. So I get that. Some people just don't want to go slow in Sonic games, and that's super understandable. But you know, I just don't have an issue with it. I can tolerate it. I actually really like the Werehog gameplay. I just like the fighting style, and I just like the style of the gameplay. And it is pretty different from something that you would typically see in a Sonic game. It does serve as a breather, because if the whole game, if all Sonic Unleashed was just daytime stages, just regular daytime stages, then it would have been a little bit boring. It kind of would have gotten monotonous. But tell me if you agree or disagree in the comment section below. All right, this next one says Sonic Adventure outclasses Sonic Adventure 2. I know y'all Sonic Adventure 2 fans are not gonna agree with this one, bro. Not by a mile, but it's not that close in your opinion. The story is a lot more coherent, and the different character stories work together much more smoothly in SA1 than the Dark and Hero stories in SA2. The game modes that are consistent between both games, specifically the treasure hunting and mech stages, are done better in SA1 and don't overstay their welcome at all, which I definitely cannot say about Sonic Adventure 2. I feel like this is a kind of an interesting opinion, because a lot of the time, a lot of people think SA2 improved everything that SA1 did. So it is kind of interesting to see the other side of that. He also thinks Open Your Heart is better than Live and Learn. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? Open Your Heart or Live and Learn? That's close. That is really close. The Sonic Advance games and Rush games are overrated. Okay, so I've heard this a lot, and a lot of people don't like the Rush games and the Advance games, but I can see why people don't like it. The levels have a lot of bottomless pits. The level design in certain areas is really questionable at points. Sometimes you don't know where you're supposed to go. There's not really that good of a sense of like direction in some of the levels, so I can kind of see that. But I personally like it. I personally like those games, but I can definitely see the issues in those games. There's a lot of glaring level design issues. All right, this one says Sega should honestly make Sonic Frontiers a soft reboot. Hear me out. I know they did the same thing with Sonic 06, but the lore is confusing than ever, and I think a semi-fresh start would help. I kind of agree with this. So I don't think it's necessary, but I kind of do agree. I kind of do want a soft reboot. What they've done in the past 10 years with like the more lighthearted stories, I don't feel like that changes the lore or like changes much. It does kind of ignore some of Sonic's core aspects, but just because they weren't in the games doesn't mean those core aspects don't exist. Like just because the emeralds weren't in Colors and Lost World doesn't mean they don't exist. So I feel like they could go for a soft reboot. I don't know what they would go for, but it isn't necessary. All they really needed was a better writer for the stories, so the stories can make more sense, and so they can actually be more tied to Sonic's roots, so it can actually feel more like a Sonic story. In this video right here, I go deeper into what I want out of Sonic Frontiers.